In this video, we are going to look at how we can do personalization using generative AI. For those of you who saw my introductory video, we had presented 6 use cases in that, which included classification, personalization, summarization, image analysis, accessing medical databases, and information extraction. The scenario is that you are working in a clinical reference lab help desk and can respond either directly to customer queries or have a human in the loop to answer customer queries. For example, your help desk gets an email saying that I would like to get more information about the NIPT test at 12 weeks of pregnancy. Can I get the test done at your facility? Is the test safe for me and my baby? And what's the cost and how long will it take to get the results? So you can see the response from the large language model in this case. It has responded to all the questions correctly, saying that the NIPT test can be done starting at 10 weeks of pregnancy, and also quoting from the email saying that you are at the right gestational age for the test. Then it goes on to say that it's very safe test and the cost in our laboratory and the turnaround time. So how do we go about giving the large language model information about our laboratory? And we do this by designing a prompt and giving it additional information. So here you see, this is the way the prompt instructions was given to the large language model. You are a medical assistant who is responsible for answering emails related to lab tests listed in the attached file, and we give it a test data file, which I'll show you in the next slide. Your task is to create personalized responses to address common questions and concerns about the lab tests. It goes on to say, answer the customer's inquiry. If you need information such as cost of the test in rupees and time to result in days, please refer to the attached file. Do not make up your own cost for the test. If the requested test is not available in the column labeled test description, please state, let me get back to you about your inquiry shortly. It goes on to say that the response should be clear, concise, and provide accurate information and address the customer's question. And sign the email with your name. Also, what to do if the test is not in the list. Okay, so the information which is given in the test data file is nothing but a test description, an alias, the cost, and time to result. Of course, you can make a file which has information from your lab and add your own data into that. After we have these 2 files ready, we can give it various prompts. In this case, we're going to give it 3 or 4 prompts, asking about NIPT test. Okay, can I get a test done at your facility and so on? Is it safe? Second one is about whole exome sequencing, asking, please let me know about this test and why it is used. Can I get the test done at your facility and what's the cost? And also it looks at some prompts inquiring about tests which are actually not listed in the test data file. In this case, the thyroid function test was not listed in the test data file, but we're going to ask it a question about that. And lastly, we're going to ask it a question about unrelated question saying, what's the capital of France? Okay. Let's see how it responds when we set it up. So for doing this exercise, what you're going to need is the access to ChatGPT and OpenAI. I'll show you 2 examples. You will need a Google account, and you will need a small payment for using the OpenAI API. So first I'm going to show you using chatgpt.com. So you log in with your Google account or Microsoft or Apple account as before. And then in the text box which says message chat with ChatGPT, you can go and add the instructions and the prompt together. I've got the instructions and prompts in a text file here. I'm just going to copy the instructions there, okay? And also I'm going to copy the first prompt and I'm going to insert it into the message ChatGPT box. I'm also going to attach the test data file using that attachment icon which is given there. You can see that. So I'm going to upload the file. In this case, I'm uploading the test data.csv file. And then I'm going to add the prompt into it. So here's the prompt, which I had shown you before. And then I'm going to ask the large language model. Let's see what it responds. When you use ChatGPT with the unpaid account, you will get ChatGPT 3.5. Okay, so you can see that the response is quite good. It's talking about NIPT, is saying that's typically done at 12 weeks of pregnancy and so on. Okay, and the cost is given, and the turnaround time of 7 days is given, all quite accurate. Also, we're going to ask it a question about whole exome sequencing by going back to our prompt text file and adding the question about the whole exome sequencing into the message box. And as before, we're going to attach the test data.csv file. So you can see that it has given a different answer to whole exome sequencing. It has picked up the cost and the turnaround time from the test data file. So clearly it is giving personalized answers based on what is the question which is being asked by the customer. Also note that the information about what is the meaning of a whole exome sequencing test has actually come from the large language model itself. We never fed that information into the test data file. So you are getting a combination of the two, large language model plus your test data in terms of responding to the answer. Now, what happens if you add, if you do something, if you add additional tests? And I asked that, and now you can see that it is said that I have reached the limit of my daily data analysis. So my options now are to either upgrade it, which costs a hefty $20 per month, or use platform.openai.com. I'm going to now use platform.openai.com because that's a very economical and very useful model to use. So go to platform.openai.com, log in with your Gmail account or Google account, and go to the assistant section, which is on the left side, and create a new assistant. In this case, I'm going to create a new assistant called Lab Test Personalization Assistant. And what this will allow me to do is to add the instructions and the file and use different models for doing all the jobs. So in the system instructions, I'm going to go back and grab the instructions from my text file, and I'm going to insert it into the system instructions area of the assistant. You can see that I've inserted it here. Now you can also select any model you want. I'm going to select the latest version, GPT-4o, which has got a very good performance. I'm also going to attach a file, the test data file. For some reason, we cannot attach a CSV file, so I've converted it into a PDF file to attach it. And then I'm going to copy the prompt and insert it into the prompt area and ask the question. Using the platform.openai.com, you are able to separate out the system instructions, any files that you want to add, and the prompt very nicely, and reuse them again and again to ask different questions. So in this case, you can see that it is responding quite nicely to the NIPT question that we had, prompt that we had, and gave a good answer to that. Now, you can also go and copy the second prompt about whole exome sequencing and add it to the prompt area. Again, you will see that it has given a fairly good response. it has described what is meant by whole exome sequencing from its training data, and then it's given from our lab data the price and the turnaround time for whole exome sequencing. Now, for a third example, I used a prompt which basically talked about thyroid function tests. You may recall that in the test data file, there was no mention of thyroid function tests. So let's see what happens if we enter the data with about thyroid function tests. And you will find that it has actually responded and given a price, a completely made up price of 800 rupees, okay, which is not right. This is an example of an hallucination in which the large language model has made up its best guessed answer for whatever query you had. So this is the reason why you need to have sometimes a human in the loop to make sure that patients or customers don't get the answer directly from the large language model, but it goes through someone else. Lastly, we're going to ask it a completely unrelated question about what is the capital of France, and the model will respond as per its prompt, saying that it's a medical assistant and does not know the answer to this question. To summarize, large language models are very good at personalizing the response based on the information provided by you. So you can add whatever information you want in the form of a file, and the large language model will take that into account when answering your question. Hallucinations are still possible, so therefore it's better to use a human in the loop and use the large language model just to generate the first draft of the answer which is going to be given to the end user or the customer. We have seen two ways of doing the same thing. One using the chatgpt.com, which is using the free tier of it, and also using platform.openai.com. The second one is clearly the preferred way of working on it. And in future videos, I will continue to use only the platform.openai.com because it gives you a lot of access to many nice models. So this video, along with the one on classification, gives you the ability to create a very nice assistant for a clinical lab help desk, and could help you in terms of responding to customers with fewer number of humans involved in it. I hope you like this video, and in case you have any comments, please do leave them in the video or send me an email. Thank you for your time.